Alright, welcome back everybody. Dirk the Red Panda here with Tennis Ace. If you guys have jumped to my description to read it, I am going on an indefinite hiatus for this channel, or just video creation, or just online presence, I guess, in general. Like, I might still try and, chat with, Discord friends and whatnot, and, try and still keep socially active, but in terms of my creative works, I really need to kind of take a step back because I have gone into a really bad habit when it comes to my scheduling, my routines. I've had a horrible sleep schedule, a horrible work ethic schedule. I still need to get 2 assignments done for a class that have been posted 2 weeks ago. All I've been focusing on is just attending lecture, then just finding time to either stream or help my friend with his novel. I'm not blaming the channels or the creative works and saying, oh, they're the bane of why I'm not doing this. I just need to step back and let go of things because I feel like I've overcommitted, and that's what I try to get at in the description. And yeah, it's tough. I told myself, oh, I'm only going to do 6 novels. That's quite a lot. That's way too much for somebody to handle on their own, or at least, do it while part-time, I guess, per se. Because I am, basically full-time in school right now. I am trying to keep my grades up, which are not doing too well in some courses because I have been so back and forth with it. I've also, streamed a bit too much with the March Madness thing. That's been kind of taking a huge chunk out of my time. Just a lot of kind of new things I've committed myself to that I need to kind of push away and basically work on the core of myself. Get myself to start working again, get myself to start, passing these courses again, getting myself to basically have a healthy work ethic, and then when I get the time from there to, maybe slowly, gradually get back into making stuff for this channel, or, well, not making, but reading, what I mean, doing stuff for this channel. But it's just a weird situation because I know everybody's at home and thinking oh, if you're not doing school or whatnot and your work is on furlough or whatever, if your work is on some sort of scenario where they're basically pushing you back and not making you go to work, then you have more time in this situation. I have not been blessed with that fortune. I really wish I was, then I could be more committed to these videos, or at least do something like that during this time, but no, I have to just do school, and school's basically taking up my entirety, I guess, when I'm not relaxing on the weekends with family or trying to help my friend with his novel's art. I'm still thinking about how much I'm committing myself to that novel. I'm not a definite, committed person to it. They were understanding of my situation and all that, too, so I'm not saying just because I'm stopping this channel, this is the only thing, it's the channel's fault. No. I'm trying to reassess my priorities, is what I'm saying, and basically figure out how to be a better person and properly explain myself in general, because that's part of the reason I'm failing my math course, is just my lack of proper explanations. It's a class where you have to explain stuff, and I suck at explain things concisely, and I just need somebody to literally be by my side when I do my homework and tell me that's the right thing, that's the wrong thing, because otherwise I'm gonna fail. That's why I started a group chat for that thing. But yeah, besides that, I should probably talk about what I'm gonna do in terms of if I do anything in the future. I may or may not get to any new novels. I'm sorry, Cetus, but with ICO, I love helping you out, and I'd love to play it offline. I just don't know if I can do it on here. But yeah, besides that, I think I'm dropping probably like the Echo series. Adastra's gonna end soon, so I probably might do Adastra, like the last Adastra, and then stop from there. But yeah, the only things that I would consider even doing in this time would probably be like Tennis Ace, like Shuichi's route, or even just Tennis Ace in general, because that's like one novel and it's once a month. Besides that, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to continue Password, or like I mentioned, Echo. Smoke Room, I'm so split with that. Like, I'm so sorry that I couldn't get to William's route for Smoke Room, but yeah. Thanks for the kind words, Kira. Well, I'll miss you. But yeah, just take care of yourself. Thanks, Fallen Wolf. He's also one of the people I recommended for my channels, because I recommended Fallen Wolf, Deckerling, Load. I think I said that right. I always struggle to say that out loud, because then it just sounds kind of like alphabet soup to me, because I'm really bad at pronouncing it right. The way I pronounce it sounds like alphabet soup, not the actual name. I'm not dissing Welsh names, lied. I'm just really bad at the sleight of tongue, I guess. But yeah, I've spent about 6.5 minutes talking about this. I should have a skip time, but I feel like this is a very important announcement to make, that if I continue anything on my channel during this hiatus, quote unquote, it would maybe be Tennis Ace. Maybe won't even do that. And like I said, Lied, I think, is starting to catch up with Tennis Ace. Decker Link is pretty much on top of it, I think, with Tennis Ace. Fallen Wolf, I don't know what you do. I'm sorry about that in terms of Tennis Ace, but I know you do, what is it? Was it Tavern of Spirit? It was like something else. It was... You do some different novels, but you still have good stuff on your channels that I recommend. Sorry I haven't gotten too caught up with your channel, but... He does a bunch of different interesting novels too, but... Even Yuki Kuki's alright, a person I'd recommend. I think he's on top of it. He might be behind. But yeah, there's people that are all doing stuff like the Smoke Room, or, you know, Echo. And yeah, there's definitely a source for these people. So I'm not taking the novels away from viewability just because I'm not doing it. These creators are doing the best to produce stuff to share these novels to everybody, and, you know, help support those creators. So yeah, it is some sad music, and I really hate that I have sad music in the background of my announcement video. Let's mute this. Let's stop being sad. This is the gallery. Shut up. No sad music. We do not have sad music for my going partying video. But okay, so Zachary asked, is March Madness done? No, that's the one exception that I have to this thing. After this, that will probably be my last guaranteed stream that I'm going to make. And that's going to be on Wednesday at around 2 o'clock Pacific time. So about 48 hours from now, 47 now. But yeah, that's going to be the last thing. Luckily, it's at the finale, so I can just end it and just not have to commit to anything anymore for now. Yeah. Besides that, it's really just going to be me focusing on myself for now. I've repeated myself 3 or 4 times, and this is probably why I should not graduate college, and like I've been struggling with the depression type of stuff, and that's kind of an example of it, me just being really hard on myself, thinking I can never win an argument, and I'm just really thinking that I'm terrible with arguments. So yeah. Basically, if you want to watch me play June's update, just ignore this first 10 minutes of the video. Let me turn the music back on, because yeah, it's good music. So there we go. We're going to get to June's update. Let me type in the description to skip to 10 minutes. Okay, and save. Alright, so yeah, basically this is Tennis Ace. We are at the 10-minute mark. And we are going to finish June's update, so pretty much I'm probably going to stop here with Tennis Ace guaranteed for now, but who knows. I'm probably going to treat this channel more like kind of something if I want to do it, as opposed to feeling I have to do it just because an update came out. So yeah. Do I have someone to practice with? I have a group chat for the thing, but we're still kind of getting things together. I just got together last week. So yeah. Thank you guys for really understanding. So let's get into this reading and finally end the update known as June's Day 26. I hear there's going to be an interesting CG in here, so... And I hear there's a fast time decision, so fingers crossed I get it. Here we go. The smell of sautéed onions tickles my nose while I stir the skillet, slowly drizzling in some sauce. What sauce? Some sauce. It's some sauce. I was going just a little bit insane this morning, watching the clock tick and waiting for the appropriate time for me to leave the house. It got to the point that was so unbearable I just had to find something else to distract me before I went insane. So I got started on lunch about an hour early and decided to meal prep enough for a few days. God, I wish I had somebody like you in my life, or I wish I was like that, because I do not meal prep that much. At least Aki and I will have food to take to school on Monday. Are you sure you're feeling okay? Aki had been probing me with questions since I got started, telling me just how weird I was acting and yada yada yada. Can't someone start making lunch at 9 a.m. without getting the 3rd degree? I'm assuming the 3rd degree burn? He's just got the 3rd degree. Nah, he just got the 3rd place medal, referencing the March Madness tournament. If he wins 3rd place, that is. I still don't know the results yet. The results on Wednesday. Sorry. Sheesh. For what feels like the 5th time, yes, I'm okay. And that was only the 3rd time I asked, though. Why are you even asking me the same question 3 times in a row? Why have you been cooking while sighing every couple of seconds? What? I haven't been sighing. And I'm the Queen of England. Have I been sighing? Just like I just did right there? I didn't notice that. You've also been tapping your foot a lot. You usually only do that when you're feeling antsy. I just do that all the time. And then it shakes the camera, so then the camera shakes like this, and it's just like, oh, I just stomped on it. It's like, anytime I hit the floor like that, the camera starts to shake. So I kind of refrain from doing it on this channel. So, yeah. Just how close of an eye do you keep on me? I've got to get my blackmail material from somewhere. Yeesh, that sounded incredibly ominous. Ominous Prime. Sure. I swear I just felt my skin crawl. Are you really that nervous about going out to meet June-san? I'm fine. Will you stop friggin' asking me questions already? Sure. By the way, though, Mr. Fine. What? Your sauce is burning. No, not the sauce! The sauce is burning! Huh? Oh, shit. I quickly poured down the water that I'd forgotten to add in an attempt to save up, immediately creating a wave of steam that rose up to hit my voice, hurting my eyes. What I was left with was a pile of burnt onions and soy sauce stuck to the skillet. That is tragic, my friends. Press F in the chat for Nico's onions. Good job. Shut up. Just go get a trash bag. At least it was just some onions. Those were the last ones we had in the fridge. I'd need to go out and buy more. Then just cook without the onions. Guess I'll have to. Sorry I burned them. Why are you apologizing to me? I don't know. I guess it's true that sassy little runts don't deserve any apologies. Damn. Fucking got him. Thank God I started this early. At least I have time to fix this. Can you wash the skillet for me while I work on prepping the other stuff? Sure. Aki quickly hops down from his seat by the counter, grabbing the hot skillet and running it under some warm, soapy water. Hopefully he doesn't burn himself on that hot skillet. I get to work on roughly chopping some vegetables so I can roast them along with the salmon I'm preparing. Oh, that sounds so good. We got some salmon, I think, too, so I might make some. I'm still figuring that out. You don't have to make this much food, you know. What do you even need that sauce for? I was supposed to use it to brush the salmon before serving. Have you ever realized that the more stressed you are, the more complicated the meals you cook get? Yes. Yes, I do. Cooking is one of the few things I enjoy doing to relax. Give me a break. Besides, I never seen you complain about me going out my way to cook something extra fancy. I guess I could substitute the onions for some minced garlic. I'd need to add a little sugar to get the sweetness that usually come from the onions, though. You're basically speaking Greek to me. Basically, he's speaking math to me. I'm a math major, but I don't understand it. You could always learn to cook, too. I'd be willing to teach you. Pass. God, Aki, learn some real-life skills. You're gonna need to learn how to do it eventually, you know. Nah, I'll just order out. Damn, Aki, so lazy. I thought you were the motivated one in this family. I really hope you end up getting a job that makes a lot of money then, because that sounds unsustainable. By the way, what are you two going to be doing today anyway? I'm taking June to the theater. There's a local orchestra playing tonight. Apparently they're pretty good for an unknown group. Plot twist, it turns out it's the band Case Cake goes to see in his update. They're an orchestra too, like they're all like rock gear or whatever, but they have like orchestra instruments and shit. Oh, that'd be nice. That sounds like the sort of thing he'd like. Right? It starts at 5 p.m., so I was thinking of us going around town for a little bit and killing time together. I know he likes sweets, so I was thinking of taking him to a bakery. Oh god, you're tempting me so much right now, Nico. Wow, you've thought of it all based on things he likes, huh? Well, yeah, that's what you usually do on a day as special as this. Oh god, he realized. I need to learn how to do that with the sprites to change it while mid dialogue, because I want to try and do that for novels. Aki is not Gordon Ramsay. Nico is the Gordon Ramsay of this house. Aki's eyebrow twitches, the smile vanishing from his face completely. Oh. And how come today is such a special day? Well, you're celebrating both of us, or we're celebrating both of us doing well in his tests. After all, can you believe his lowest grade was an 82? I sure can't. Good for June, though. Like, he passed. I'm so happy for you, June. Uh-huh. Then how come you're not going out with the others, too? I'm sure they also did really well. Not in terms of Shuichi standards. Shuichi is like 100% or bust. Well, you know, June was the only one running a risk of failing, so it makes sense that I'm treating him. You're allowed to call this a date, you know. I already told you that I'm cool with you two being a thing before. Does not compute. Nico EXE has stopped working. That's... The judgment is still out on that one. I think you mean still isn't. Something to that effect, yeah. Alright then. You can tell me officially when you're ready. Just make sure you don't end up hurting Jun-san, alright? I'm not taking relationship advice from a 12-year-old. Thank you. You're welcome. Here, I finished washing your pan. Appreciate it. I think my little brain is slowly turning to mush. Aki, why do you still have to do this to me today of all days? Oh boy, it's time. It's time to start dating. Ah, it's finally here. I'm standing in front of Jun's house, feeling way too nervous to knock on the door. I tried leaning my back against the wall for a second while I gathered my nerve, but ended up nearly burning myself. God damn it, Summer, why do you have to arrive so cruelly early every year? Or why do you have to arrive so cruelly every year? The brick on the street feels like a frickin' furnace. Not to mention the asphalt radiating heat everywhere. I feel like I'm cooking alive. God, I hate this weather. Here we go. After arguing with myself for damn near 5 whole minutes, I finally knock on the door, waiting patiently for an answer. I wonder if Jun's parents are home. I know there's a chance his dad is out on shift right now, but I don't know if his mom works weekends. After a minute or two, I finally hear footsteps coming from the other side. Hey there, Nika-san. You're here? Or you're here. Tiger appears on the other side of the open door, stuttering and twitching, probably even more nervous than I am. His hand is even tinted red for some reason. Oh my god, I got an Evangelion moment just stuck in my head from that. looks at hand. Oh god. Anyway, his hand is even tinted red for some reason. Somehow, seeing him looking like this helps me relax a tiny little bit. Jun, thank you. I really owe you one. Hey, I'm here to pick you up. Sorry I'm late. It's alright. It's not like I was waiting anxiously on the other side of the door for you to get here. Jun, you really are an open book. How come it took you so long to open the door if that's the case? I said it wasn't the case. Alright, then hypothetically, if it had been the case, why would you have taken so long to get the door? I might have, hypothetically dropped my key behind the shoe cabinet. Jun. Okay then, are you ready to go? Do you need to say bye to your parents or anything? Nah, they're both at work right now. It's just me in the house. Alright then, let's get going. Yeah! The two of us walk together through the neighborhood streets, heading to the all-familiar site of the downtown train station. As we get closer and closer to it, the amount of people on the streets increases little by little until we're finally surrounded by more bodies than I can count. Man, it really gets busy here on weekends, huh? Oh, right. I forgot. Are you going to be alright? Yeah, I think so. I've been slowly getting better at dealing with the crowds. It's just... my old school didn't have all that many students to begin with, and it was in this smaller town a few hours away from Nagoya, so I never had to deal with them back there. Or is it Nagoya? Is it Nagoya? Or is it Nagoya? Either way. Nagoya? Wait, your old school was in the what the fuck, the Chubu region? That's far. Not that far. It could have been worse, still. But yeah, I lived away from Kanto for 7 years. And Saitama is also a big city on its own, so it's no wonder I'm not used to it anymore. I didn't know about any of that. How come you never said anything? It's not like it was super relevant at any point. I mean, what difference does it make knowing where my old school was? I guess he does have a I guess he does have a point in that. I've been slowly getting better acclimated to it, though. I mean, I have to if I want to move to Germany for my college graduation. Actually, now that you mention it, I do have a question about that. Oh, what is it? You've talked a few times about going to school in Germany, but I don't know any specifics. What kind of school is this in the first place? Oh, I guess that's true. There are certainly 3 schools I have my eyes on. The number 1 choice, though, is in the Cologne University of Music. I'm spraying Cologne University of Music. I'm going to anytime he mentions that university, I'm just going to refer to it as the Cologne University of Music. Which is the most prestigious music institution in all of Europe. Because they have Cologne. Whoa, for real? And you can get in there? They are very selective. If I didn't have a 7-year hiatus in my piano competitions, and assuming that I spent that entire time getting the same level of results as I did before I stopped, my approval would pretty much be certain. But now, even if I manage to fulfill my goal of winning every competition I'm taking part in this year, it's still a toss-up. That's why I have 2 other backup choices in case I don't get in. They are also leading schools in the musical world, but nowhere near as prestigious. I really want to get into my top choice, though. That's been my dream since I was a kid. Wow. I can't even imagine. I never really dreamed of college or specialized education myself. Me neither. I just did it because I was told I should get a college degree and a college salary job, or college level job, in order to afford living where I am. Which is tragic. It's like I wish sometimes I could just live an easier life and just do something like simple. Like, I feel like I'm personally somebody who just doesn't have that strive. I just want to do a simple job, like retail or something like that, and then just settle. But I need to do this. I need to get this degree in order to, be secure and safe and live in a place that, maybe isn't that low of quality. It's a weird dilemma. My dad taught me about tennis when I was only 6. At the time I found it very fun, but didn't have any lofty goals related to it. After he passed away, though, it felt to me like tennis was the only way I could feel close to him, so I kept going because of the memory pushing me forward. Even though I fell in love with the sport and decided to make it my career, there are still nights where I can't sleep, wondering if this is really my own dream or if I just stole someone else's. And you've never had a doubt about it? Not even once did you think that maybe this isn't what you wanted after all? No, never. I started playing piano when I was 3. By the time I turned 8, I already spent all my day playing on it. It was what I loved to do the most. I could never imagine a future without it. After all, from the moment I had any awareness of who I was as a person, the piano was the most important thing in my life. Of course, things didn't go quite as I planned. My goals changed a little bit now that I'm aiming to be a game composer instead of a professional pianist, but my education choice isn't really affected by that. I can't really see any other path for me. I don't know what to say. I want to say that I feel the same way for tennis, but it's so weird. I don't know if I can share the same level of conviction over it as he does. I've never really stopped to think about just how driven June must be following a goal like this with all his heart. It's so weird to see someone that seems so meek and absent-minded and realize that they're actually fighting really hard to make a huge dream come true. Even now, I feel like I'm still misjudging him due to the childish image of him in my head. Every time I think that's changed, I realize that it's not yet the case. Sorry. Huh? What for? Just sorry in general. Okay. I'm not really sure how to answer that. That's alright. You don't need to say anything. I place my hand on top of June's head, gently petting it and running my fingers through the soft, fluffy fur. Just seeing that peaceful, warm smile on his face makes my heart tighten up. June, I'm so grateful for you, in more ways than you can even imagine. Come on, there's no point in standing around by a street corner. We should head to our first destination already. Yeah. Wait, where are we going again? Why are you agreeing so enthusiastically when you have no idea? It just sounded like a very exciting idea when you said it. Never change, June. Huh? How come? I mean, these clothes are gonna get sweaty and gross eventually. So I really need to. I didn't mean it like that. Just follow me, you dork. Okay. After about 20 minutes walking through the downtown streets, we finally reach our destination, a small bakery that was recommended to me by Shuichi. Looks like the one we went to with Keisuke. This is where we came to get the cake for his dad's welcome home party a while ago. Although the party itself ended up tanking because the idiot decided that he just had to cook. At least the cake itself was pretty tasty, so I decided this would be a nice spot to come to with June. Ooh, cakes. Lots of cakes and pastries. Yep, I knew you liked sweets, so this was my first stop. Yay, cakes! Are you even listening to me right now? Here, let's sit on this table right here. They just both sit on the table itself, not even in the chairs. Let's sit on this table. Crush! And try not to make it too much noise. I just don't know. Who is the best boy among those three in your mind, Dirk? I mean, Shuichi is best boy to me always, but June is such a good second, and Keisuke is not a bad third. Oh well, moving on. Got it! June obediently follows along with me, pulling up 2 chairs by a small corner table near the display case. You have to make your order on the counter. Just tell me what you want and I'll get it for you. Strawberry anything. Really? Anything? Yeah, you already know I love strawberry more than anything. Why are you even surprised? I don't even know. When it comes to you, I never cease to be surprised, I guess. What does that mean? Or, I acted way too sassy. What does that mean? That you're adorable. What? Don't just drop that on me all of a sudden. I'll be right back. Bye. Well then, let's see what the options are, or what options they have. Hi there, good afternoon. What can I help you with? Good afternoon. What do you guys have in this, or what do you guys have that is strawberry flavored? We have a few things. Strawberry shortcake, a strawberry and cream tart, strawberry eclair, candied strawberries. The eclairs are our most popular strawberry flavored dessert. That sounds good enough for me. Can I have a strawberry eclair for my friend and a lime tart for me? Certainly. The clerk grabs a pair of tongs and grabs one of each of my order, putting them in individual paper plates and placing them on a plastic tray to be carried to the table. I quickly pay for the bill, granted I'd do it without June's knowledge, and take our things back to the table. And done.
Oh, is that an eclair? It looks really good.
You couldn't hear us talking at the counter? It's only 5 or so steps away.
Sorry, I got a little bit distracted, so I wasn't paying attention.
What else is new? Distracted by what? Right, that makes sense, I guess. What? Hey, June, don't eat it with your hands! June's just like, gum, 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 gum. What are you talking about? You ate the whole entire thing? It's like, eclair? What eclair?
Huh? I can't?
This is a fancy restaurant for fancy people where fancy people eat things with forks and knives. None of them peasant hands. Why do you think I placed a fork and knife right next to your plate?
Sorry, I didn't notice them.
Come on, I know I usually say it's adorable how easily distracted you are, but even that has limits. We're in public. Don't eat with your hands in public. I can't believe I'm having to teach you that lesson. I do not know what an eclair looks like. I'm assuming it's like some giant cake-like thing. Eclair. I do not know how to spell eclair. Weird stuff. That's what Bing says for like the first article. Oh, that looks so good. That's what an eclair is. Oh god, eclairs are so good. They're like donut bars, but with the cream filling in them, kinda. That looks so delicious, and I'm going to die for one. I would love a chocolate eclair. Maybe with some sprinkles on, if you don't mind. Oh god. You're making me so hungry for desserts right now, guys. Yeah. Have fun with the coursework. I'm going to be doing that right after this stream. That's why I'm trying to do it earlier, so I can do this stream and then just basically spend this entire afternoon and evening finishing the homework assignment I should have been spending the last 2 weeks on. Good job, me. Alright. Continuing on.
I know you're not supposed to do that, but I just didn't see the silverware, so I thought it was the only choice.
Sure, keep telling yourself that, buddy. Oh, man. Yuichi, or Nico, is the bad cop.
Oh, the cream inside is strawberry flavored too.
So is mine. No, I'm kidding. Nope. Redacted. That is redacted. Oh, God.
The cream inside is strawberry flavored too.
Is it good?
Yes, it's delicious.
I'm glad to hear. If it lets me see more of that precious smile, then I'm on board to treat him like this as many times as I can.
What about your lime tart, Nico-san?
It's pretty good, yeah. I tend to prefer them slightly more acidic, but this one is still delicious. I can taste the lime in it pretty well.
It certainly looks good. I wouldn't trade my eclair for it, though.
Nobody's asking you to, you dork. The two of us laugh at nothing in particular, enjoying our desserts while throwing away trivial conversation. June is so easy to talk to. It sometimes surprises me just how chatty he really is, considering how shy he was when we first met. He also shows an interest in pretty much any topic that is brought up as well, so I never feel like I'm racking my brain trying to think of something he might enjoy talking about. If it's anything he knows and likes, he'll contribute heavily to the conversation while gushing about it. If it's something he doesn't know very well or doesn't have a personal interest in, he'll ask questions about it to try and find out more about why I like it. That's a good friend. That's kind of how I feel when I talk to people. It's like, if it's something like that, it's like, I'll try and ask questions, but if I genuinely am just kind of tired or not as interested, I just kind of nod along, and hopefully the conversation ends, and go, okay, okay. But yeah, if it's a close friend like this, then yeah, I definitely suggest using this tactic of asking questions, even if it's something you don't have a strong interest in. So yeah, that's how you make friends, 101. Take interest in everything and anything. He's a pretty good conversationalist once you get through that shy exterior, and his bubbly attitude always has a way of lifting my spirits. By the way, I hope I'm not overstepping my boundaries here, but I was kinda hoping I could ask you a little bit more about your old school.
Why that of all things?
Well, it was apparently a big chunk of your life, but I still feel like I know nothing about it.
I suppose that's true. There's not much to talk about, though. The student body was pretty small, less than 100 students in total. It was also a boarding school, so I shared a dorm room with another student there. It was really awkward once I started getting older and realizing I was interested in guys.
How so? Did you fall in love with this guy?
Well, dorms weren't assigned specifically based on age. My roommate was 3 years older than me, and he was a track runner.
He got the thick legs. He got the juicy thighs.
He was also really confident in his body, so he didn't feel a need to go to the bathroom whenever he needed to get changed.
He just didn't feel a need to go to the bathroom, period. He just, pissed on the floor.
He just didn't need to go to the bathroom. He just absorbed it. Anyway, whenever he needed to get changed, it was hard not to look.
Oh. Damn. I can imagine that situation being quite awkward for him.
There was also the communal showers. Those were always bordering on giving me a panic attack just thinking of all the ways I could embarrass myself in them. Other than that, it was a pretty normal school. My class had about 15 or so students at any given time. We had class projects, presentations, papers, tests, and those kinds of things.
What about friends? You lived and studied there for 7 years, right? Surely you must have had some.
Not really.
What? I have a hard time believing that. You're so sweet and kind and nice. How could you not have any friends?
You and Shuichi-san went through a lot of effort to bring me into your group and make me feel welcome. Can you really imagine a bunch of 11-year-olds doing the same? And I never had the confidence to insert myself into other people's conversations either. I ended up just spending all my time alone playing piano in the music room.
They also had a piano room in there?
Yeah, it was one of the best parts of the place. They had music lessons as a part of the curriculum to serve as a kind of musical therapy.
Musical therapy? For a brief second, I swore I could hear a sound akin to a squeak from the tiger as his eyes went wide.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. You cram a bunch of young kids into a dorm, away from their friends and families. Is it any surprise they need help adjusting?
I guess that makes sense. Or at the very least, I really want to believe it.
Music is a really powerful thing. It can calm the soul and make you feel better when you're down. It's also a great way to let out any bottled up feelings in a constructive manner. After all, there is a song for every possible emotion you could feel. You just pick the one that matches up with your own feelings and use it to let them out.
Truth. This is musical truth right here. I feel that I'm not a person who likes a certain genre of music or a certain, type in general. Like, maybe I'll have some tendencies here and there, but most part, I like songs when I'm in a certain mood. Not music in general. I'm just saying I tend to listen to songs, to certain types of songs depending on my mood. Like, I might listen to more of a kind of an upbeat, kind of theatrical or jazzy type of song if I'm looking for something more optimistic or happy. And if I'm in more of a
kind of slump mood, or if I'm more of a emotional feeling mood, I will kind of go for something more of like a ballad. I really don't have a certain genre I listen to. I just listen to what makes me feel good. In the heart, that is. Anyway, that sounds like hippie talk. Shut up, Yuichi. Or Nico. Whoever the fuck you are. Shut up, Nico. Part of me wants to say that to poke some fun at the tiger just for the sake of embarrassing him a little, but that'd probably be cruel. Remember, Nico, no messing with people's beliefs. That's a no-no. At least you could use the piano to have a good time there, right? Yeah, it was the only thing that made it tolerable a lot of the time. I'm really glad I met all of you. Especially you, Nico-san. I wasn't in a good place when I came back home, and it really helped. Oh no, I didn't know about that either. What was wrong? It's hard to explain. There's a lot to unpack there, and I wouldn't even know where to start. At the very least, I used to feel really lonely for the longest time, and now I don't. And it's all thanks to you. My heart pounds inside my chest, ringing all the way into my ears. Just seeing Jun's face like that, it's enough to make my own face grow hot and red to make my ears tingle. I'm glad to have been there for you. Yeah, I'm so thankful for you, Nico-san. For a lot more than you know. I guess he and I have been sharing a wavelength on that without even noticing after all. What about our school? What do you think about it? I really like it. Granted, I finally have friends again, and that really helps a lot. But in general, it just feels like a much more positive environment. There are more people around, so it helps with the feeling of isolation, too. I can't believe I'm asking this, but we can't have been the first friends you ever had, can we? No, not at all. Back before I went to the boarding school I studied in, I used to have a handful of friends. I was also a lot more athletic, too. I liked to run around and play sports. Soccer was my favorite. I was lean back then, too. Oh, June, don't say that! Don't fat shame yourself, June. You're perfect just the way you are. This is kind of reminding me of when I talked to Basket. Like, he used to, play sports back in the day before he hit his teens, I guess. Because I was talking to him about, like, oh, you like volleyball too? He's like, yeah, I played it when I was a kid. And, just something along the lines of, like, he stopped because of, like, needing glasses and his, vision was, like, struggling, I guess. I forget the whole detail. I'm not gonna, like, go into a whole rant about that, but it kind of reminds me of Basket's personal background in playing sports when he was much younger. From when I talked to him. Anyway. Really? Don't say that. What happened? No, don't say that. What happened? Well, that's also tricky to answer. I guess I had a lot going on at the time when I transferred to my old school. I was feeling so out of it that I couldn't socialize properly at first. When I finally felt better, too much time had passed. I already had a reputation as a loner, and I could feel the barrier between me and my classmates growing bigger and bigger. It was a weird time. Damn. That's all heartbreaking to hear. But man, I have a hard time picturing a June like that. It's not like he isn't social. He's not bad with people by any means. But picturing him as some kind of social butterfly athlete that loves to run around? Am I forgiven for thinking that there's no way those two can be the same person?
It literally does not compute in my head.
What about you, Nico-san?
Me? What about me?
You've told me a little bit about you before, including how different you used to be when you were a kid. What changed?
Well, I guess I had too much pride.
What does that mean?
Back when I was a kid, everyone always painted me as this once-in-a-lifetime prodigy that would completely change the world of tennis. And I got really used to being called that. I had a lot of pride in my skills and used to think I was better than everyone, even if I always made sure not to show it. After all, not just be poor sportsmanship. Then this one kid showed me up about 6 years ago. At first he wasn't anything special. I could mop the floor with him just like I did with everyone else. But with time, he started to get better. Eventually our matches became really close and I finally felt like I had a rival. Of course I would always win back then. But he never stopped improving, you know? I started to lose. It became more frequent. As I realized that, I thought at one point, oh, this is someone I can't beat. I was done for when that happened. The distance between us kept widening and I couldn't win anymore. All the pride and confidence I had built up came crashing down to earth. Eventually, I guess even he decided I was no longer in his level because he cut contact with me. He probably doesn't even consider me a rival anymore, and I subconsciously agreed with him. When that happened, my entire motivation tanked. I didn't feel like there was a reason to keep working hard when it felt like no matter what, I'd still lose. Everything in my life went downhill after that. My grades started getting worse little by little. I socialized less and less. It felt like a vicious cycle. The worse things got, the more I felt like it was all pointless, and that just made me give up even harder. It's really hard to break out of a cycle like that.
Nico-san.
Honestly, I feel like it's just a dime a dozen, uninteresting story. I mean, how many children are there out in the world that have everyone's expectations thrust onto them and burn out from it? Me! Pick me! Pick me! When somebody tells you you're good at math, so you're basically convinced to do a math-related major, but then the math class you need to pass in order to graduate is the hardest thing on earth, and it basically makes you want to quit school altogether. Whew, good times.
Probably more than we think.
Right. So really, I'm nothing special in that regard. I just happen to be a little bit good at a few things, but that doesn't make me a prodigy. Once you feel like you can't meet the expectations placed upon you, it's like, why even bother?
I'm really sorry, still.
It's alright. It took a while, but I feel like I'm starting to get better at it. I can feel my motivation returning little by little.
Really? That's great. How come?
Well, for starters, I found another reason to want to work hard. Lots of reasons.
You're not telling me. You're not telling me. No fair.
Maybe I'll tell you later. Maybe.
Boo.
By the way, do you want me to get you another eclair?
Can I?
Man, distracting you with sweets is so easy. Maybe I should start carrying some around with me so I have an emergency topic change whenever I need it. Just like little treats for June. Good June! hands him an eclair or like a donut hole or something. Just, here you go, good June. Who's a good tiger? Sometime later. I'm gonna save here just to be safe because somebody told me about the scene. I guess there's supposed to be a make or break fast time sequence and I don't want to have to rewind all the way to the beginning of the day just to do it. So after we left the bakery, I decided to take June for a quick stroll around the park since there was still some time left before the orchestra would start. And after having so many sweets, I really really feel like I need to walk for a bit to burn off those calories.
It's really nice in here.
You don't come to the park often?
What about me makes you think I leave the house much on my own?
Damn, June, stop roasting yourself. Don't hurt yourself like that. Right. Sorry.
I'm surprised at how many people are here, though. I mean, it's nowhere near as full as downtown, but...
It's the start of summer, so it's to be expected. People are going to want to take advantage of the weather.
You've never talked about wanting to enjoy summer, though.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, summer, how I loathe thee and thy scorching tendrils of dry heat. You can fuck right off as soon as possible. I could tell you hate summer. It's so weird because I love summer in terms of like going outside and all that stuff, and I hate the winter. Winter is my least favorite season of how cold it is. And just, having to wear stuff. I like times where I get to wear shorter shorts and, basically wear comfortable clothing. So,
actually, I just thought of something. You said you
knew when I knew that you knew you could do them so hard. Anyway,
you said
fuck, I did it again.
You said you had already planned out our whole date, right?
Oh, the scene is way later, when they return from insert spoiler here. Okay, cool. Yep, that I did.
Does that mean there's more after this?
Well, yeah, of course. You didn't think our date was just going to be me taking you to a bakery, did you?
What? But the bakery was already so good.
Wow, I guess I know my audience a little bit too well. Oh my god, that's the biggest fourth wall break. The most basket thing to ever write. If it ends up that the high point for him was going to the bakery after all the trouble I went through to get those orchestra tickets, I just might cry. We have some place to be at 5, but other than that, we're free to do whatever we want until then. It's supposed to be the main attraction, really.
At 5? Oh, that's just in 2 hours.
Yup. We'll need to take the train to get there. So I hope you're okay with being squeezed into a tin can for a little while.
I'll do my best. Thank you for letting me know beforehand so I have time to mentally prepare.
Of course. I would have avoided the train entirely if I could, but getting a taxi to the theater would have been way too expensive. It'd have been feasible if I didn't already pay for the tickets, but I can't swing both costs at once with my weekly allowance.
Are you going to tell me what it is we'll be doing at 5?
Nope, that much is a surprise.
But...
Sorry, only way you're getting that information is if you pry it from my cold, dead lips.
If you're dead, then there's no way you'd be able to talk in the first place.
Exactly. That means you're not getting it.
You're so mean.
Only because I like you. Aw, scene slightly changes.
I see. I guess that's fine then.
You're so easy, June. That's what makes you cute. How are you enjoying yourself so far? Having fun?
Yes.
I walk a bit closer to him, putting one hand on top of the tiger's head and giving him a few more pets, a few more of the pets I know he likes.
Thank you for taking me out.
Of course. I wanted you to have something to look forward to after such a rough week.
I appreciate it.
Speaking of which, how are you feeling? You doing alright over there? Not having any kind of discomfort or anything like that, are you?
Somehow, I already knew you were going to ask me that next.
That means you're okay with answering me, I hope.
Well, I probably should avoid tiring myself out too much. I'm fine right now, although I do still get a little lightheaded if I move too fast or exert myself too much. My body is probably a little more fragile than usual right now, so I should avoid doing anything strenuous again. But that shouldn't get in the way of me doing regular activities. Just have to be careful, that's all.
Yeesh. It's a good thing that I'm not taking him out for anything that fits that kind of category. It'd be a real bad time if I ended up setting him off so soon after he got back. Okay, basically you can save when a CG pops up. By the way, it's 2 a.m. and I have online school tomorrow. Great talking with you, though. Yeah. I totally understand if it's getting late for you guys. The stream, of course, is going to be saved on my YouTube channel, so all good.
So, I'm not at any risk of dropping like I was earlier in the week, honest.
I don't know how much of that I can believe, but at the same time, that's more forthcoming than he's ever been before about his condition. I guess that means he's slowly opening up to me. At least I'll choose to believe that. Progress is progress. I'll take what I can get. Despite how much of an open book he is about most things, there is an equal amount about June that I know nothing about. There's such a weird dynamic when I think about it. I get that we all have things we'd rather keep secret, but how bad could the truth be? Is all this secrecy really necessary?
Oh, look, a street musician.
June points out a ram around a corner that is playing his guitar and singing. Secretly, it's Carl from Echo. It's like Carl just moved to Japan and just became a hippie guitarist. Hey, you don't see these very often. You don't see these very often all the way over here. The tiger stops in front of me, or stops in front of the man, actually. The tiger stops in front of the man, pulling out his wallet and dropping a bill inside the man's guitar case, where he's been receiving donations. Most of the nearby benches are already filled up with people that sat around to watch the performance, so the two of us stay on our feet the entire time. June insists on watching him perform, and I don't really feel like disagreeing with him. After all, this whole thing was set up for his benefit, so there's no point in telling him we can't do what he wants to do.
He's got a really nice voice.
That he does. Surprisingly high for a guy, too. I'm pretty sure the song he's singing right now was originally by a woman.
I think he's a tenor.
What's that?
It's a term in music used to refer to a higher-pitched male singing voice. It's one of the highest pitches a male voice can get.
I am a bass voice, I would say. Not even baritone, just straight bass. I didn't understand much of that, but that's pretty cool, I guess.
Do you know no music terms at all, Nico-san?
Nope, sorry. I'm a music idiot.
Sure. Music.
Fucking got him. What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing.
Ow! Before he can react, and while no one is looking, I give June a firm slap to his backside, looking away and whistling as if nothing had happened. Oh no, your ass just got magically slapped. Oh no.
What was that for?
What was that for? Oh. Uh-oh. He's glaring at me now. Okay, I'm so... I feel something thin and firm whip me on my backside, and when I turn back to look, I see June's tail thrashing around behind him, while the tiger looks all satisfied.
Karma comes swiftly. Okay, I'll admit I underestimated you a bit there. You have more spunk than I gave you credit for. That's right, you shouldn't mess with me. You poor, sweet summer child. If there weren't witnesses all around, I'd have thrown you into the ground and would have had my fist firmly grinding against the top of your head by now. All done with love, of course. I'd never be able to hurt June on purpose, that much is for sure. I'd just make him yield to me for a little bit. Once the Rams' performance is over, the dozen or so people lined around to watch him all clap as the man bows with grace. He chit-chats with some of the audience members for a few minutes before collecting his things and heading off. You sure it's okay for you to not talk to him? You seem pretty interested in his performance. That doesn't mean I'd be comfortable doing that. Talking to strangers is still a pretty big weak spot for me. Aw, that's a shame. But I totally get it. You don't have to do anything you're uncomfortable with so long as I'm around. Thank you, Nico-san. I really appreciate it. June looks around, watching the small crowd that gathered dispersed little by little with great interest. Wow, I didn't even notice half of these people arriving. Doesn't surprise me. You tend to zone out pretty hard when something catches your eye. I guess that's true. Not really a good thing. It's cute. You get a pass for that alone. I don't think that's something I would get I should get a pass for. That doesn't mean you'd prefer if I punished you for your transgressions. Well, no, one slap to my butt was enough. Funny, I never mentioned that the punishment would be a slap, or that I'd go for your butt again. Is this what they call reading in between the lines? Then stop complaining so much and learn to take the compliment. Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor? Hang on. I think you're starting to take this joke a little too seriously right now. We should probably get going, though. It will take us at least 40 minutes to get to the venue, and the event starts in a bit over an hour. I don't want to risk being late if something comes up on the way there. Okay, let's get going. Are you prepared to face the weekend train crowd? Not really. I'll do my best. I give him a few encouraging pats to the head before walking in the direction of the train station. June follows along behind me without another word, being very obedient despite his own concerns. Yes, it's great seeing you too, Tushi. You don't have to at me 3 times. Alright. Just as I predicted, the train is so jam-packed that there's barely any room to stand inside. June is pressed very hard into me by the crowd, and I can feel my body rubbing against at least a couple of different strangers due to the acute lack of space. Ugh, this is why I hate taking trains in general. June has his arms wrapped around one of mine, but seems to be holding onto enough of his awareness to avoid squeezing super hard as usual. Are you okay there? Yeah, it's just really tight in here. Just be careful you don't hurt yourself. I get the feeling you're not very used to riding in these, and it can be dangerous if you lose your balance. Noted. I notice him whispering something to himself over and over again, but I'm unable to quite make it out due to the rumbling of the dozens, possibly hundreds of people squeezed into this giant tuna can. Is it some kind of mantra to keep himself calm? For what it's worth, he's already doing a ton better than when I first met him. I fully expected him to have freaked out by now. He is clearly trying his hardest to avoid causing any problems, which I also find endearing. June, hang in there. During one particularly sharp curve,
one particularly sharp curve, the train jostles a little more than usual, sending the tiger flying back and into my chest. Hey! I make sure to catch him with one arm so he doesn't hurt himself by falling. You okay there?
Yeah, it's hard to stay on my feet like this. It could have been bad if I fell. Is this normal?
Pretty much. That's not even the worst thing about it, really. I've already gotten elbowed, kneed, and sometimes fall on top of me. Or had someone fall on top of me. All these because people can't seem to stay on their feet. You have no idea how happy I am to finally study in a school that I can walk to.
I don't think I'm cut to live in the big city.
You're lucky you're not in Tokyo, then. My family used to live there back before Dad died. It feels 10 times worse than this. Come on, our stop is the next. You gonna be alright to make the walk?
Of course I will. It's just a little bump on the head. It's not a big deal.
Careful it doesn't end up knocking out a few neurons you still have left.
What? That can happen?
Oh no. I guess it already did. Oh well. As soon as we started walking by the neighborhood, June began murmuring something about the place feeling familiar. Then, when we finally came into the front of the concert hall, his eyes went wide. We walked through the front door with the tiger in absolute silence, staring at the place and the people inside with palpable shock. What are you thinking so hard about over there, buddy? I poked the side of his stomach, speaking to him teasingly while attempting to feign innocence.
Why are...
Eloquent?
What are we doing here?
Well, I know you're a big fan of classical music. I found out there's a local city orchestra here in Saitama that they'd be performing here today. So I got us tickets.
What? Are you serious?
Yep, of course I am. To be perfectly honest, I don't know much about orchestra, so I don't even know if they have pianos and whatnot. But I still thought it might be something you'd enjoy.
I love it! Oh wow, thank you so much, Nico-san.
Of course. Anything to cheer you up. Looks like June is nervous again. Sure was.
So, what's this orchestra like? What's their composition? Are they a regular symphonic orchestra, or do they have a special arrangement?
I actually did...
Oh, I wonder if they are going to have a... But then again, it's very hard to organize. Of course there's nothing about it. I wonder what kind of... Just thinking about all the things possibly stuff.
Oh my god, so much reading, so many words. Oh my god, Jude, take a breath. Please. Slow down.
Oh, sorry. Was I going too fast?
Yes! Jesus, I think I was only getting every fifth word. If even that. Calm down.
Sorry. I just got a bit ahead of myself.
You think?
Still, I'm really excited about this. I never had a chance to watch a real orchestra live, so I'm having a hard time containing myself.
Are you saying that up until now and ever since I've known you, you've been contained?
Yeah, I have. Why?
Oh dear God, he's gonna be uncontrollable. I really shouldn't have taken you out to a bakery before this. Don't know if the sugar is helping any.
Huh? Why? I don't get it.
I know I'm not exactly a believer, but... May God have mercy on my soul today. Well, at least we managed to get here 10 minutes early, so we didn't have to rush or anything. There's some time to settle down, take a deep breath, and, you know, all things one usually does before watching a performance.
I guess, in a way. Not really sure why we're talking about it, but... Actually, I do have a question. Or, well, several questions.
I'll try my best to answer them. What have you got?
Do you even know what kind of music they're going to be playing today?
Huh? Classical music, right? Isn't that what orchestras play?
It is the norm, but that doesn't mean it's always the case. There are orchestras that play all kinds of music. I've even seen a rock orchestra online once.
You're kidding me.
Nope, they usually announce the repertoire beforehand. Was there anything about it on their social media? You didn't check the social media, did you?
Not really, no. I didn't think I had to. I just heard about an orchestra performing, thought to myself, this is perfect, and rushed to buy the tickets. Such a Nico move. Come to think of it, I probably should have looked a bit deeper into it, shouldn't I? Sorry.
It's alright. I'm sure I'll enjoy it either way. I was just curious to know.
That's good to know, at least. Definitely makes me feel a little bit better. You said you had other questions, though, right?
Yeah, although if you didn't know how to answer my first one, I doubt you'll know the others either. I mean, they do kind of require for you to have looked into it after all.
I'm sorry, okay? Not usually good with this whole planning things out shtick, but I still try my best.
Nico-san, you're grumbling.
I'm allowed this.
I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to make you upset or to put any flaws into your gift. It's a great gesture and I already love it.
No. You don't have to apologize. I'm just mad at myself because you're totally right. I should have put a little bit more thought into at least researching my basics. I guess I was so excited about how perfect the idea sounded that I rushed into it head first. Being impulsive is kind of my flaw at times.
But like I said, I really do love it. I do think it was perfect. It shows how well you know me and how much you care.
I'm glad you think so. I was really hoping to make you happy, yeah.
I do think so. You really are the best, Nico-san. I'm glad it was you that
That you what?
Nothing.
Stupid secretive tiger. I'll karate chop you on the head if you keep this up.
Oh, actually, now that I think about it, there is one question you might be able to answer.
Shoot.
Do we have assigned seating, or is it just sit wherever? If it's the first, then everything is fine. But if it's the second one, then
you want to go to the hall already so you can sit on the front?
Kinda, yeah.
Well, sorry to burst your bubble, but the seats here are assigned, and by the time I managed to buy the tickets, the first 6 or so rows were already filled up.
Oh, man.
Jeez, look a bit more disappointed. Why don't you? I know I shouldn't be salty about it, but I can't help be just a slight little bit. Yes, I'm petty, sue me. I'm pretty sure you're still going to get a good view of it. You don't have to look so sad about it.
Oh, I'm not sad. I'm super happy right now. See?
I instinctively shift around uncomfortably where I stand. There is something that really creeps me out, seeing how easily June managed to put on such a happy, genuine-looking smile on demand. Why would you even know how to do that? How much practice would that even need? Yeah, I guess you are, huh?
Yeah.
Come on, let's go to our seats. I figure it's about time already anyway.
Sure. Are you alright, though? You seem upset.
He instinctively cocks his head to the side, taking a step closer and inspecting my face with his darting eyes. Nah, I'm alright. Just a bit worried that you might be upset not getting good seats, that's all.
What? No, Nika-san, you shouldn't worry about that. The last thing I want for you is to be worrying about me.
I'm just being paranoid, I guess. I want today to be perfect for you and all.
But I'm already having fun. I've been having fun all day. You don't need to worry about me.
Now I can't tell whether this smile is genuine or not. Oh good, I am really starting to feel paranoid. Come on, we should really head to our seats. I grab the tiger by his wrist, turning my back to him and making sure to gently pull on him while keeping him behind me. Also, he can't see the frown forming on my face at the moment. The performers are all already on stage, readying themselves on their positions and checking their instruments. There are way too many for me to count, probably over 20 in total. There's no piano in sight, which leaves me a little bit disappointed. I'm sure June would have been thrilled to see one, even though there's a piano there on the CG, or background, I mean. And I have no idea they weren't a common thing in orchestras.
Looks like a pretty standard instrumentation. I wonder what they're going to be performing.
We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
The tiger places a hand on the arm support of his seat, rubbing the sides of his hand gently against mine, almost to the point where it seems accidental. He doesn't even look at me while he does it, leaving me unsure whether he meant to do that or not. Since it doesn't happen again, I decide to chalk it up to a coincidence, turning my eyes back on stage as woman takes the front of the stage.
Oh, that must be the maestro.
Is it the maestro? Maestro? It might be maestro. Maestro? How do you pronounce it?
Maestro.
Maestro, I was right.
That must be the maestro.
Is that the person that leads the orchestra?
Exactly.
The conductor, I would say. I think there's a version in French because I've watched too many Eurovision contests. It's like they say, like, oh, the conductor or the chef d'orchestre or something like that. Like the chef d'orchestre means, like, you know, chief of the orchestra. So composer or conductor, yeah, conductor. So yeah. Oh, I guess not. Oh, I guess it's the chef. Yeah, chef d'orchestra. A little bit. But they just, yeah, French people are weird. I'm kidding, French people are awesome. I struggle with languages. So, exactly. Huh, interesting. I just took a guess based on the name, but I'm glad to see that I'm right. The performers all clutch their instruments, readying themselves to play any second now. Now I put the headphones on. June waits at the edge of his seat, his eyes fixed on the maestro's figure. I follow his gaze, curious to see what will happen next. With a flick of his stick. Oh wow, that was cool. The instruments all start in synchrony, filling the air with the sound of strings. Whoa. Air. From the look on his face, I can already tell he's immediately recognized it. At least he looks pretty happy and satisfied. I'm certainly glad to see that. The sound is... I don't know how to describe it. It feels kind of out of this world. Ethereal? Is that out of this world? Or is that the world? It's light and fluffy. Like every swish of the maestro's stick brings new colors around, flooding into sight. Hearing? The atmosphere is entirely different from when I watched June perform. Stick, excuse me, sir, it's called the baton. Oh, of course. I don't feel the same sense of gripping magnetism as I usually have when I watch him. Not that it's not interesting to watch. It's certainly beautiful, and I'm glad to be able to watch it. But it doesn't give me that sense of urgency, that craving for more. I wonder why it is. Jin's tail sways slowly back and forth, brushing against my legs while the tiger happily watches the performance, a big goofy smile plastered. It's still enough to make me smile, or to make me smile myself. Just seeing him seem so content makes me glad to have come here. The last thing I want is to see him looking so stressed and miserable like he did last week. Being able to cheer him up, even just a little bit, it's enough to leave me satisfied. I want him to smile like this more. I want a genuine smile from him. Before I even noticed it, that alone became one of my greatest priorities in everyday life. It's strange. I gingerly placed my hand on top of the tiger's own, watching his face with the corner of my eyes to see if he'll react to it at all. He, however, doesn't seem to react at all, seeming to be too distracted to even notice the gesture, his eyes never leaving the stage. I continue to enjoy the rest of the performance while clutching the tiger's hand in mine, content to just have him right next to me like this. At some point, and without me even noticing, the tiger moved his hand around, placing its back on the armrest, lining his palm up with my own and intertwining his fingers between mine. Oh, now he's stressed again. Now I'm really sad. The headphones come off. The orchestra performance was shorter than I expected. I thought it would be already completely dark out by the time we left, but it turns out that it was still a fair bit of orange in the sky. The sun set slowly on the horizon with the last few minutes of daylight. Maybe there are about 20 or so left before it goes dark out. You should really save right now. Good advice. Thank you, random person, Furkan Agurin? I know the O is a special pronunciation, but is it Igurin? Furkan Igurin. I like it, sounds fancy. I think it's also kind of Scandinavian because the O is kind of a Scandinavian thing. So the sun sets slowly on the horizon with the last few minutes of daylight. Maybe there are about 20 or so left before it goes dark out. 20 or so suns. Then they all fell. I know, 20 or so minutes left. I mean, I guess it makes sense that they may seem to be an amateur group with day jobs. They probably can't focus on this stuff full time, so their set list isn't going to be anything huge. But I guess I still expected it to be at least 2 or 3 hours long. Is that too much? Do orchestras not usually go that long? I don't really know. I didn't manage to get anything coherent out of June afterwards, as he seemed to be talking with the speed of a movie stuck on fast forward. And now on the way home, well, he was quiet for other reasons. The train was even fuller now than it was earlier, but then again, given the time of day, it really was no wonder. Most people are going to be heading home by now, and it's only natural for them to fill up more than usual. There's barely any room to breathe, let alone move. We're almost to our stop. You don't have to cling to me so hard, by the way. I'm afraid of falling again. It's not that bad. Just plant your feet firmly on the ground and you'll be fine. Easy for you to say. You're used to it. You have no idea how many times I fell as a child before I got used to riding a train, kitten. Just because I'm used to it now doesn't mean I didn't have a hard time getting used to it. This won't last long. Just 5 more minutes or so. You'll be fine. Okay. Just then, before either of us can realize what is going on, the train shakes suddenly, sending lots of people off their feet. A petite woman bumps against June, elbowing him by accident before she manages to stabilize on her feet.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Are you alright? Yeah, I'll be fine. Just knock the wind out of me.
June's voice flutters unnaturally, his entire body shaking a little. All of a sudden, he grabs onto me, wrapping an arm around my shoulders as if begging for support. Are you okay? No, June, don't get a heart attack. His other hand goes to his chest, his knees nearly buckling under his weight, giving me barely any time to hold on to him and keep him standing. My chest. My eyes widen in horror as it dawns on me what has happened. Did she? The tiger nods meekly, desperately clutching to his chest with shivering hands and gasping. He got elbowed in the chest. That must have been what happened while I wasn't looking. And he's only just recovered from his latest flare-up. His body probably isn't prepared to deal with that kind of stress yet again so soon. Hold on, we're almost at our stop. June nods meekly, burying his face onto my chest, holding onto me tightly while taking labored breaths. Why does something like this always seem to happen whenever I go out with June? Alone. First when we went to the amusement park together. Now this. I was careless. I should have let this for next week, given him more time to recover. Stupid Nico, how could you always be so stupid? Just hold on to me. You'll be fine. We'll get you home and you'll be able to rest. He nods again, his whole face brushing up and down against my chest, not even letting me see his expression. Come on, arrive at our stop already! As soon as the doors to the train opened, I grabbed June and rushed out of the compartment with him still clinging to me. His breathing had stabilized a bit by the time we arrived, and he seemed to be doing better, but that still wasn't enough to keep my racing mind from worrying. Ready, set, save! I'm going to save here because Farkan is giving me some good pointers. Thank you. How are you feeling? Are you in pain? Talk to me! I'm okay. I just need to lie down. Despite his best attempts to fake a smile, it was clear from his twitching eyebrow and the canness of his words that he was having trouble speaking. God damn it, you can't be honest with me even now? God damn stupid fucking tiger. Come on, it's a bit of a walk home still. Maybe I should call a taxi? No, there's no need. I can walk. Just hurry. Alright, I won't argue with you right now. Let's just take things slow for now. Come on. I led him away from the crowd, trying my best to push aside anyone so they didn't collide into him, especially now when he's basically shrinking into himself. At some point, he pulled away from me, struggling against my attempts to at least hold on to his hand, wanting to walk on his own 2 feet. I bit my tongue, not wanting to cause a scene in public. Besides, I feel stressing him out right now would only make things worse. If only he wasn't so stubborn. June, stop trying to rush so much. You can't be walking ahead of me. Right. He nodded meekly, not holding my gaze, barely even slowing down at all, just enough to say that he's complying. If you're feeling so bad that you want to rush home, then we really should grab a taxi. No. I can walk. I want to walk. I don't need help. Why do you have to be so fucking stubborn about this? Every single time, always refusing help, always being so annoying. Why do you have to be like this? That's it. I'm going to look for the nearest taxi stop. No. I glance up at the traffic light, seeing the countdown letting me know that it'll turn red in just a few seconds. I come to a stop, pulling out my phone to try and check the location of the nearest taxi station downtown. It seems I got a few messages from Aki while my phone was set to silent for the orchestra. I decided to tap a quick response right after checking that we could get in a taxi about 2 streets away from where we were. Just need to let Aki know we were heading home. Wait! For some reason, and without really knowing why, a deep sense of dread sets in, making my entire body shake and shiver. When I look up, my eyes widen in pure horror. No! 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 The scene playing out in front of my eyes unfolds almost as if in slow motion, revealing itself like a frozen picture frame. Wait, what? Why is June... Almost mechanically, the tiger turns his head slowly, eyes falling upon the approaching headlights, his expression unreadable from where I stood. The sound of tires screeching echoes loudly and cruelly in my ears, sharp and grating. It won't stop in time. June! Every single nerve in my body has me running as fast as I can before my brain has time to catch up on what is happening. Holy shit, I'm gonna get a heart attack from this. Holy crap! And this is how Nico stops playing tennis. Every single nerve in my body has me running as fast as I can before my brain has time to catch up to what is happening. My hands collide against something soft while I fall to the ground, my knees scraping against the asphalt. What? In that 1 second that seemed to last an eternity, my mind finally comprehends everything. I am going to save here. What did I do? I just saved a life. Hopefully. My mind finally comprehends everything. Seconds stretch into what seems like minutes, and in that slowed down little frame, I see June's eyes widen at the sight of my body flying towards him. June, I hope I didn't hurt you even more than I pushed you. Please be alright, okay? Nico-san! I took a second for my consciousness to fully ebb. My body felt as if I was floating into a warm pool, weightless. A loud, painful ringing echoing through my ears as the sounds of screams and stomping footsteps came closer and closer. And then... silence. I hate you so much. I hate you so goddamn much. No. 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 That's it? Okay, so... silence. Okay, I'm gonna save at this point. Oh my god. That is the scariest goddamn moment of my life. How did you catch that? I know when there's only one option in Rempe, it's in the middle of the screen, and I'm like, I'm going to keep my fucking finger on there in case it's a quick, like, romantic decision. I didn't know this was it. This is the goddamn craziest moment of our lives. If you fail the quick time, you get a certain ending. I am really scared to see it. Should I? I'm really scared to look at it. I'm really scared. Like, I'm not gonna save it, of course, because I don't want to save the bad ending, but I want to at least see it. Oh my god. I am fucking shooketh. I am shook from that ending. My god. My god. Everybody's like, no, don't do it. It's like, I can't look away. I thought it was gonna be a pitchforks of like, oh, June's gonna cock block him or something like that. Not this. I would not put pitchforks for this. This is like, my heart's about to break. You get a unique title screen if you do that. Just do it! Oh, I can't look. Oh, no. It's pretty bad, just to warn you. Do I have to censor it? Oh god, I might have to censor it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna have to do it. The car tries to brake, but the tiger's sudden appearance in front of the street is unable to do so in time. The shock of the impact sends the tiger's body flying forward a few feet. I can't bear to look away. My eyes remain glued to the tiny, pitiful, motionless figure of the tiger, his frame being slowly tinted in a shade of red, illuminated by the headlights. Oh my god, someone call an ambulance! It wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault. June. The smell of the iron is so thick I can nearly taste it. My legs buckle, falling down to my knees amid the commotion. I remained there in shock for what felt like hours, too out of it to speak. Even as the paramedics came by and tried to rescue him, I still couldn't move. Please, don't take him away. Don't take June away. Please. Oh my god, that's it. I never saw him again. I'm so glad I saved the good ending, because this just breaks my heart. My heart is so broken from that. I like the music, but it's so tragic. You never see him again. In that one moment, that just... Oh my god, that's awful. I can't do it. I have to go back to the good ending. To be continued. Well, not even good ending. We got hit by the car, too. It's like, holy shit. Wait, the screen doesn't even change! At what point do I have to go? I'm sorry, guys. Just don't look. Just look away. I want to see if this changes the screen, no matter what. Nope, same thing. What happens if I quit the screen? Holy shit, it's gonna be in the gallery, isn't it? It's going to be in the gallery. No. Okay, I'm gonna quit out of it and see if I can get back into it. But my heart is just hurting from that. It's like, I am so saddened. Alright, let's see if this turns it back to normal. Basket, you broke the game! Oh, no. Can I change the music? This is such a sad song. I made the good decision, though. I saved him. Look. I don't get it. Okay, so this is a really sad way to go out for me. My heart is just broken from that. My god. I don't know how to think of it. It's like Nico's going to be going to the hospital in our good ending. this just rips me. Like, this just rips my heart out. I'm really sad, but at the same time, I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens. I'm not looking forward to what is happening, the tragedy. I just need to know. It's like a cliffhanger. It's so dramatic. I just must know. I have to wait 2.5 months for the next June update. It's crazy. This might be one of the things I'll have to make an exception for to, like, continue playing. I might just do summaries for my other novels. I was thinking about this while I was reading and thinking, maybe instead of playing through some of my novels, like that I'm trying to play, I can just do summary videos of what I thought of them. So, yeah. If you guys think that's a good idea, I might do that, but once again, that would be on my own time and not sure if it'd be live. I don't want to have to, like, set a scheduled time to do it. That's a thing. I need to be able to be more flexible with my schedule so I can put school first. But this is one of these scariest things I've ever seen, and June's route is probably the most emotional now at this point. Like, you see Shuichi's and you're like, what happens to him is tragic enough, like, you know, in terms of his background, but in terms of present day, holy crap, this is the saddest thing I've ever seen. And I'd say it's 1,000 times better than Nekajishi's getting hit by a car thing. It's like, you kind of get something similar to it, where it's like, oh no, it's all tragic, but obviously it was a bad ending in that, you know what the car running over was supposed to be about, and you know the plot twist of it. But at the same time, this is just way more heartfelt. Summary videos are a good idea. Thanks, Lied. If they showed June after that scene, I would break down into tears. Me too. I was really scared I'd have to censor it. But I can't get the old loading screen. That's so weird. I don't know. And it just stopped. There's no loop. Anyway, the next update will be really good for, I think. Definitely for June's, I think it'll be very interesting. But I'm hoping Shuichi's will be too, and I think it will be. Man, I did not think I was going to get so invested into this. But, yeah, I have to end things here, sadly. I'm so sorry. This update was quite a mood swing of an update. It felt really nice and very sweet at the beginning, and just, you know, nice and bubbly. And then for that to happen is one of the craziest damn things to ever have. And we had reason to. It's not like, oh, we're trying to do this for plot convenience. He's literally, like, you know, kind of in a mental fog from his condition. Like, that is, I hate to say, well, like, hate to see, like, it was well coincidenced or whatever, but, you know, it all was aligned well. Like, it wasn't so choppy, but yeah, it just stays like that. It's so weird. Anyway, now I'm gonna end the stream. I'm getting hungry now. I'm getting a bit lightheaded, and I need to start my homework. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if I see you again sometimes, or if I wait, thank you guys so much for watching, and if I do in the future, I'll see you guys soon. But until that eventual next time, if it comes, take care, guys.